Hi there, it's Professor Monty, and we're answering the question, what are composite functions and how do we use them? All right, so here's the idea. When we compose functions together, we take the output of one function and we use that as the input in another function. So over here, what I've done is I've driven, x is what we're starting with. That's going to be my original input. I'm putting it into the g function. Well, whatever the g function does, it's going to change x, but what's going to come out is g of x. We're going to use that change thing, that g of x, as the input into the f function. And then what's going to come out is f of whatever we put in, f of g of x. So when we compose functions, oftentimes they'll use the notation f with a little circle, g of x. It's not a dot. If it was dot, that'd be f times g. It's a little circle, f of g of x, which is f and then of g of x, just what we wrote over there. So if you see it this way, it looks like fog, but it's f of g of x. We can just change it that way. So we can read it as f composed with g of x or f of g of x. All right, so I've got an example. We're going to start with the f function. F of x is 3x minus 1, and g of x is x plus 5. First, we want to find what is f of g of 2. So in our example, we put in a 2. It's going to get changed. We're going to use that as the input into the other function. So this is really f of g of 2 based on the definition right here. Well, don't worry about the f yet. Let's plug 2 into the g function. Here's the g function. So we plug the 2 in there where the x is. So it's f of 2 plus 5. Which is f of 7. So our input was 2. It comes out as a 7, but now we're using that as the input into the f function. And the f function says, oh, it's 3 times whatever the input is, minus 1. So it's 21 minus 1, or just 20. And that's my answer. F of g of 2 is equal to 20. That was my original input. That's my final output. Okay, so that's how it works with numbers. With variables, like this example, we're going to get not a numeric answer, we're going to get a new formula. All right, let's follow this one through. Now notice I changed the order, so keep it in whatever order it's written. So g of f of x is g of f of x. Well, what's f of x? Again, ignore the g for now, just put it there. What's f of x? Oh, f of x is the function 3x minus 1. That's my input. That I'm going to put into the g function. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it right there. So that becomes, instead of x, it's 3x minus 1. And then I still have the plus 5. So it gave me a new formula, 3x plus 4. That's my answer if we wanted to write, oh, g of f of x is the new formula, 3x plus 4. Over here, we could have said, oh, f of g of 2 is 20. So that's the idea. Composition of function, taking an input into one function, using that output as the input into another function.